Hey guys, welcome back to the C2C Podcast, and this episode is for practitioners. If you've got a physical office, you're a chiropractor, you're a physiotherapist, you're a nutritionist, and you're working with people one-on-one in your office, I want to talk about how you can build a profitable self-paced program without adding in any more one-on-one time, because there's the same bottleneck that appears for all practitioners, which is you cap your one-on-one time slots, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, how do I continue to grow and scale my business? And sure, you can take on more employees, you can continue to build a team, they can start to take up your one-on-one time, but sometimes the size of your facility doesn't dictate multiple practitioners. So you might be looking at a bigger facility, or you have to bring on more people, and maybe it's hard to find that specific person. So instead of doing that, there's a way that a lot of practitioners are doing now, which is creating a program that they can run online that doesn't take up additional time. Outside of trading your one-on-one time for dollars, there's also the addition to burnout. There's only so much one-on-one that you can do because you still have to be answering emails, you still have to be dealing with client delivery and creating all the client notes in between those sessions. And then on top of that, there's going to be reporting that you have to do if you claim things like insurance. So all of that stuff is going to be stuff that's going to put one-on-one time over the edge. And the goal of owning and operating a practice is really about taking yourself out of the business. It's not about you staying in and being the one who's working one-on-one forever. You have to have other means to be able to grow. And another thing with one-on-one too is you're going to have a lot of client churn. You're going to have people who finish their treatment and leave, and then you're always trying to finish or find people to replenish that space. Instead of always finding these people to replenish, there are programs and offers that you can offer them online, self-paced, other options that they can do on their own for continuous care that can keep them in your world and keep your revenue high while minimizing the amount of one-on-one time. Because let's be real, we're not going to be doing one-on-one forever. So there is a scalable revenue stream that serves both you as the coach or you as the practitioner and you as the client, and it's a self-paced program. So I get a question from all practitioners like, how do I even sell a self-paced program? What am I even going to put in a self-paced program? Why would they buy that from me when they're accustomed to working one-on-one with me? When it comes to an online program, people originally coming into an online space know that it is online. They are the people who are typically self-led. These are the people who do not need this one-on-one attention. And they're basically looking for the initial, like, how can I get started through this process? Or how can I maintain my care on my own so I don't have to visit you as many times? Because there are people who value their time more than they do always seeing you for immediate or urgent care. So as an example, if you're like a naturopath or a nutritionist, there are a lot of programs that you can do. You know, if someone is in the dieting phase, you could have like a nutrition maintenance program. If someone is like in a pre or postnatal phase, you can have a program that leads up to that. So that way, when you actually appear in their lives for the care piece or working with them physically, it's something that they can maximize, but they know that there's additional support out there. So this whole aspect of like, oh, a self-paced program is going to be like, I'm just going to record a bunch of videos and people are going to buy it. Like, no, the entire purpose of a self-paced program is to either do something in addition that's going to be almost like a bonus to the service that you're doing, or it's something completely standalone that might be to help them maintain where they are or to help get them to a point in which they are ready for your service. This way, we're maximizing the entire process of the client journey, because when we look at the client's entire journey with you, it doesn't matter what type of practitioner you are dealing with urgent care. When someone is seeing you person to person and they are right in front of you, there is an immediate issue that they are looking to solve. That is what we would call acute care. Now, it might be acute care for a chronic issue, but it is acute care. They have an urgency. They need to see you, whether it's a chiropractor, they need an immediate adjustment, whether it's a naturopath, they're having really bad IBS issues. There's something that they need to immediately fix. And that's going to involve you working one-on-one. And then once their issue is fixed, then this is where it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess there's nothing left for me and you, so they're just going to leave. This is where a self-paced program can come in, and you can do a maintenance program. You can do a elimination program, which maybe starts working on the chronic issue so it doesn't flare up again. There are a lot of opportunities that you can offer your client outside of your practice that they can continue to like get more clarity, get more information, continue to work on their journey, so that way they are seeing you a minimum amount of time. With this, there could be a lot of options. It could be something like stay bloat free. It could be work on your immune system. It could be reducing inflammation. For chiropractors or physiotherapists, it could be muscle strength and conditioning. It could be an FMS program. All of these programs are great because they supplement your care, but they can be used as standalone. So when it comes to some program models, here are some of the ones that we've run for our practitioners, and they work really well. The first is a mini course. Mini courses are great because you can give someone a short win up front. You can sell at a really high volume because it's typically a lower price point, and you can prepare someone to either like start to build trust in you, or you can prepare them for care if they already have that trust. So a mini course would be anywhere from like $47 to $197. It can be anywhere from 4 weeks to 6 weeks. And effectively, it is a starter program. It is learning about one thing. It's helping them improve one initial part of their journey to get them to a state where they can feel a little bit better. Now, for mini courses, I recommend mini courses to nutritionists, to naturopaths, because a lot of times when people have maybe worked with other practitioners before, it's a little hesitant to hire another person if they didn't see really great results with someone in your field. So a mini course is a way for someone to be able to get that quick win, and then through that quick win, recognize like, oh, wow, like this person is credible. Like if their course is like this, imagine if I worked with them, and then it helps them prep for your service. A mini course is also a great way to have someone continue to stay in your world. So if you're working with them on just one specific thing, so for example, it's just weight loss, but then you recognize like, wow, this client doesn't just have a weight loss issue, they have a menopause issue, they have a digestion issue, there are other areas of their journey that I can help them with. A mini course is a great way to speak to one specific focus or problem, and then that continues having people in your world over a long period. Outside of mini courses, you can also offer a signature self-paced program. These are going to be for more of a robust transformation. So think of physiotherapists, chiropractors, osteopaths, where instead of doing this acute care, like I've got to go to the chiropractor for a couple of adjustments over the span of a couple of weeks, it's like, no, let's build you an FMS program. Let's actually show you functional movement patterns to help you move properly, to help you strengthen your body, to help improve your mobility, so that way this is not an issue that keeps reoccurring. Because if you keep throwing your low back out, there's a reason for that. If you keep getting a super tight or stiff neck, there's a reason for that. And a lot of people only know or only recognize chiropractors or osteopaths or physios as people who just deal with the immediate issue. So when you present that offer, it's like, yeah, you know what? This back pain has been something that's been existing for a long time, and I do want to be pain-free. I don't want this to come back. And this is where you can offer a longer transformation. A signature self-paced program can run anywhere from 12 weeks upwards to 24 weeks, which could be a combination of videos, could be a combination of a course code. You could even offer check-ins at an upsell where maybe you're checking in with them once a month, where now they're invested in a long-term transformation. So now it doesn't matter if they appear in your office or not. They're doing the program, they're doing the work, they're doing the exercises, they're strengthening the mobility. And that is going to minimize the amount of times that they have to see you for urgent care, which is a win for them. And it's going to free up your one-on-one time for really the people who actually need your care in the moment, which is the whole purpose of running a practice. Now, another one is a hybrid offer. So this is a hybrid offer, which could be like a self-paced, but there's also monthly live calls or a private community. A lot of people want to be a part of a community. They want to connect with people who are working towards the same thing as them, or they want to be able to get questions from the practitioner or support in a way where it's like, hey, like I want to hop in, I want to ask what I need, and then I want to go action and implement. The bonus of a hybrid offer is you can have like an evergreen funnel, which means you can run a hybrid offer and offer these live calls on an ongoing basis. You don't have to have a start date. You don't have to have a finish date. You can basically just run the program effectively forever. People hop in whenever they need because it's self-paced and they're still going to be getting one-on-one support. So this way you can sell it all the time without having to consistently launch it and put marketing towards it. So with these types of offers, you can effectively add another 10,000 to 15,000 of reoccurring revenue as a bolt-on to your business and your practice without having to fill up more one-on-one time. These live calls, do them once a week and everyone hops on the call and they ask their question. Self-paced, once you build out the course the first time, guess what? You don't have to spend all this time teaching the same thing to other people over and over again. It's like, it's all inside the course. They get the course, they have the course for life, they can implement it as many times as they want, and then you can build courses that continue to upsell to each other, which is what we call a sales pathway, which unlike a practice where you're like, oh, well, now that your care is over, like I almost have to try and find other issues for you to work on. A sales pathway can be like, first we work on mobility, then we work on strength and conditioning. From strength and conditioning, then we're going to work on like you being a high level athlete or you getting to a space where maybe you move like an athlete. And then if you need ongoing care or one-on-one care, we still have that available. You can launch this and have it as a bolt-on inside of your business. Now, a lot of practitioners, when they're looking at starting a self-paced course, or when they're looking at adding something online for them to be able to add additional revenue into their business, they're always like, okay, now I got to spend the next 6 months to build this program out. Don't do that. Don't waste time creating something that no one has bought yet. You first, before you go and you build any self-paced course, and I tell this whether it's online coaches or it's just practitioners who are working physical, you have to first validate the problem. You have to ask all of your existing clients, you have to ask your existing audience, like, would you pay to solve this? Like, would you actually be interested in this program? Because what happens is you fall in love with your information. You fall in love with the way that you are practicing in your business, and then you create a program that no one wants or that no one's interested in. So for example, if you go and you say, oh, you know what, I'm really like passionate about strengthening feet, and you create a foot program. And I'm not saying I'm not knocking feet, okay? Like, okay, I guess I am kind of knocking feet, but whatever, right? Personally, I will never do anything with my feet ever. It just is what it is. So you go, you create this foot strengthening program, all right? And then as you run it, you're like, oh shit, no one's really interested in this. No one has any desire for this. No one is appearing with any issues talking about their feet, but people keep talking about shoulder and low back pain. Well, that should be the program that you focus on, not this small other thing that maybe you might have very selective people to go and pay and buy for it. So you got to validate the problem first. If you go and you say, I want to create a program on menopause, I want to create a program on postnatal, I want to create a program to help prevent someone from getting back pain again. Ask your existing clients, hey, look, I'm thinking of putting this program together. Would you pay to solve this? Go and put that out there, and then also put it out to your audience as well too. Hey, my clinic is looking to create a couple of programs. Which ones would be the most beneficial for you? Boom, put it out there and see what the feedback is. Then that's when you can go into pre-sales. I always pre-sell a program before I build the entire thing. Now, I don't sell a program and then I have nothing to deliver, but my whole thing with all of the coaches and practitioners that I work with is like, why would you take 6 months to build out a program, and then that's 6 months of no one buying it, no one paying you, no one investing in it, and now you're like, oh, I've just put 6 months worth of time into this, now I like need sales for it, when instead you could do a completely different way. You could sell the program ahead of time, be super excited and fired up that 30 patients have already joined. And then because you already have a rough idea of what you want to deliver to it, then in a 3 to 5 week period, you can build the program along the way, investing weekly time into it while people are inside it. If anything, that's going to have a time-saving process to when you are building, because the fastest way to create a program is to have people in it telling you what they want and what they need. If you have a patient go, oh, I know that I've joined this back program, but like what I find is my back pain also affects my neck. Cool. Maybe that's a module that you have to build in that you wouldn't have before if you didn't have this person inside the program. Or another way that you could really build the program fast is like when these people are interested and express interest in the program, you could tell them, hey, what are the things about back pain? And I'll use back pain as an example. What are the things about back pain that you would really like to know about? What are the things that you feel would benefit you to help you become back pain free? And then that way you already have topics that you can use to be able to put out there. Now, one thing as well too that I always recommend is if you are the practitioner who's been doing free seminars, who's been doing master classes monthly, and you should be if that's how you want to build value to your audience, then we can also use existing information that you have and record them or clip them and put them into your offer. Because offering bonus trainings, offering other resources, especially in a self-paced course, gives a value stack. People want value stack programs. They want to pay $79 and get $400 value worth. Because when you over deliver to any person who buys something self-paced, that is going to encourage them to buy again from you. One of the greatest killers of online programs or online sales is someone buys from you at a small level. What they bought from you was really shitty and they never buy from you again. So it doesn't matter whether the offer is going to be a micro program that's going to be $79 or whether it's going to be like a huge like signature program that's going to be 16 weeks at $3,400. You want the value to be 3 to 4 times that. So that way they can see like, oh, this person has given so much. This practitioner cares at such a high level that I want to see the other programs. I want to know what's next. Now, the way that we build these structures, it doesn't have to be complicated. Like 3 to 5 modules, each with short actionable videos. Skip perfection. It doesn't have to be super clipped, doesn't even have to have captions. Like film the videos and the content that they absolutely need and then get feedback. The program is version 1. You are going to be making adjustments over multiple periods. So when I had my practice and I was helping people balance their hormones, the hormone reboot program was 8 videos. That's what it was. It was 8 videos and it was 12 calls. And then on the calls, I would hear the questions that people asked. And then I would go and I would add in a bonus video on that specific thing to expand in further detail. So it started off with 8 core videos that everybody needed: sleep, digestion, hormone basics, all of that stuff. And then as people started to say, oh, I have cravings, oh, I'm finding it's hard for me to sleep, then I started to add on these other things. Now, over the span of the 4 years that I ran the hormone reboot program, there ended up being over 60 videos because it was something that I continued to build out over time. And then I went back to older videos. I looked at their relevance. I updated them. And so I wasn't spending 6 months building this out. I was spending 3 to 4 hours a week working with people actively in the program, building this out. Now, once you've sold the program, because you've got to sell it first before you go and you promote it, this is really about like, how do I sell this on autopilot? Because a lot of practitioners don't do this. They don't do online sales or they don't do self-paced stuff because they're not sure how to sell this thing. This is where it's very, very simple. Email funnel to existing clients with a nurture sequence and a pitch with a soft sell on social. That's it. Client wins, before and afters, and storytelling. That's all you need because it's about creating a low ticket entry point. If you give someone a reasonable low ticket offer, you get them started, you have them join a masterclass to learn about why this program is so good. So for example, if you're creating a program on back pain, I would then go and I would create a masterclass on like how to be back pain free, how to strengthen your back so back pain never appears. Give them one piece of information and then sell it on the back end. You could do one masterclass a week, 1 hour a week for 4 weeks. Your email sequences maybe take 2.5 to 3 hours. And that is all you need to be able to pitch to past clients, pitch to existing clients, upsell new clients, people who are looking at your socials, and that's an ascension ladder. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it actually doesn't take more than 4 hours a week for you to be able to build this. And if 4 hours a week gets you an additional 10K in recurring revenue on your business, I think that's pretty worth it. I think that is a very doable and easy funnel system for you to be able to put it. Now, when you're doing this, there are a couple of mistakes that you should avoid. And this, I want to go into it because sometimes being a practitioner, and this is how I kind of operated, I wanted to make everything so perfect up front that I spent a lot of time in the perfection process and in creating these really perfect programs without actually making any sales. So a couple of mistakes to avoid. The first one is like creating a course too early without having any client data. You really do need to know whether or not people have an interest in this. And also, you need to be very clear with what the expected result is going to be. Don't just sell a program for the sake of selling something. There needs to be an end result. At the end, is it pain-free? At the end, is it getting them ready for your one-on-one care? Is it a maintenance program? We need to have the objective in mind before we go and create this course, because sometimes when a practitioner creates a course, they try to put everything in it, and then someone's like, well, I'm confused. Like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be getting out of this. The next thing is being too general. Your program cannot be for everyone, because if it's for everyone, it sells to no one. And that's just a reality. We need to have a specific offering for something self-paced. Back pain, perfect. If you are a person who has chronic low back pain every single time, it's hard for you to stand up and sit down. You find when you're working at an office, the back pain triggers. The more specific you are, the more that it is going to sell for a specific person. This is what allows you to have multiple programs, and it's what allows you to ascend to different programs. So being too general is actually going to detract from people, because people want to buy a self-paced thing, or they want to be a part of a program that solves the issue that is bugging them the most. And that issue is going to be the thing that they're hyper focused on. So as an example, if I'm going to a naturopath and my hormones are a freaking mess, I don't really care that my hormones are a mess. There's a reason why I'm going there. Maybe I'm sick and tired of tossing and turning at night. My hormones are so bad, my digestion is a freaking nightmare. That's the thing that they're hyper focused on. That's the issue that they need to correct inside of the course or the program. It's not balancing hormones. The hormones is the secondary thing. It's basically what you're going to do to fix the issue, but we're leading with, how do I fix the specific thing that is in front of me? Because once you fix the thing that's in front of them, that's when the client's going to become open to then working on a bunch of other things. Which leads to the next mistake, over delivering in wrong areas. More videos doesn't necessarily equal more value. There have been so many apps out there now that people have that they can charge, $7 a month, $9 a month, and there's 200 exercise videos, but people can look that shit up on Google for free. There's no value when there's no context. And I want you to really pay attention to that. There is no value when there is no context inside of your business or inside of your programs. So don't just put videos on a bunch of digestive stuff if it's like, oh, I think I'm going to give it away as a bonus, but these people don't have digestive issues. Only keep or add things into your program that is relevant to the specific program. That way it's going to be watched, it's going to be used, and it's going to be something that people find as valuable. So this is where you have to really understand your client journey. And some practitioners don't know what the client journey is. When I'm working with them inside of our coach to coach program, they're like, well, I know that I help them with this issue and this issue. And I'm great. Well, what happened before the back pain? What happened after the back pain? How did they find you? How did they transition away from you? What are the goals after you? Those things are very important. You need to understand the full journey, which will then help you create this clarity and provide additional value inside of your program. To end this video, I want to basically say, you've got to build it like a practitioner, not a content creator. For you to be able to promote, push this thing, and sell this thing authentically and not feel weird about it, You don't need to be dancing on TikTok. Like, it's not about creating these things that's supposed to catch somebody to sell. You need to solve a real problem that your existing clients already want solved. So this is about leveraging your client work to scale online without cloning yourself or without having to add on more staff. You can easily add an additional 10 to 15K worth of revenue in recurring sales, selling programs from and I would even say 179 to 400 a month is a very realistic, per person, is a very realistic price point for a self-paced program. And at 400 a month, 10 people's $4,000. It's not hard for you to get additional revenue without wasting your time. And if you need help doing that, we literally do that for tons of practitioners. We're working with one chiropractor, physiotherapist, and a naturopath right now inside of the C2C program. One of them is doing micro programs for FMS. The other one, as the naturopath, is looking to do a pre and postnatal program. And then the other one is looking for a strength and conditioning, which is more helping for the after their treatment. So we can help you build the same as well too. Just head to the description and click growmycoaching.com. Book a discovery call with us. We'll talk about the micro program that you want to build in or the offer that you want to add into your business. I'll walk you through how we can bolt this on without saving you or without costing you a ton of time. And then we can get it started. It literally takes less than, I would say, the first 2 months of the C2C program to have it launched, to have the content build out, to get to a point where you're selling the offer. And then at that point, once you start getting people buying the self-paced program, which you can do in the first 1 or 2 weeks of launch, then we work on building it out for you. Easy peasy. It's that simple. Thanks guys for watching the episode. Make sure to follow and subscribe on YouTube as well too. That way you get all of the notifications for episodes like this, because why wouldn't you want to learn and continue to grow your business? Come on, subscribe to the channel. I see all the views, but it's the best way for you to get updated on the newest episodes. Or, you could probably see it from my email newsletter as well too. But if you're not on the newsletter, subscribe. That's simple. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode.